The story begins with a dark scene and a girl screaming. Then, we hear a boy who sounds like he has just woken up. There are video game sound effects. A girl stands before an unconscious boy, trying to determine if he is real. It is when she decides to dissect him, thinking he is a human-shaped meat, that the boy stops her and abruptly wakes up. The girl asks him why a level 1 slime would drop a human since they typically drop bean sprouts. The boy, completely clueless about what is happening, starts to panic and question the girl. She explains to him that everything in this world is obtained by killing monsters. The boy continues to question the girl, and it becomes apparent that he is not in Japan or even on Earth. Slimes are the only monsters on the first level of Tululu. The girl is too weak to venture to other levels, so she only kills slimes. She shows the boy a status board where people can check their levels and stats. The boy is convinced that this world is just like a video game. He checks his status and discovers that all his drop levels are S level. The girl explains that S is actually the lowest level, but the boy had mistakenly believed it to be the highest. They decide to put it to the test. The boy asks the girl for a weapon and she gives him a bamboo spear. He finds a slime and successfully kills it with his spear. The drop is exceptionally large. The girl has never obtained such a substantial drop in her 2 years at this level. The boy is now certain that S level is higher than all the other levels. The girls mention that she has never seen an S level anywhere before. They agree to settle down and have a meal together. When the girl serves him a comforting bean sprout soup, the boy becomes emotional and confesses that he hasn't had a warm meal in a long time. He shares how he would come home late from work and consume unhealthy food, which negatively impacted his health. He explains that he started working 2 shifts and during one of them, he fell asleep and woke up in level 1 Tululu with the girl. He describes his life as a daily struggle and begins to cry, but the girl unexpectedly embraces him. She comforts him and the boy feels a sense of relief from all his pain. He expresses his gratitude to the girl for her kind words. The boy decides to leave, but the girl Emily cannot leave as she cannot afford to live in the town. Emily lends the boy, Sato, a bamboo spear for him to keep. The boy departs and heads to the town. He chooses to sell his item for 200 pylos, but realizes that it's not enough to rent a 2,000 pylo room for one night. A bowl of ramen costs 500 pylos. The boy decides to go defeat more slimes to earn additional money to cover his expenses. Now that he has a high drop rate, all his hard work will pay off. The boy takes Emily to an old apartment that he managed to purchase and gives her the keys. Emily notices his exhaustion and kindly offers him a place to stay at her apartment, where she can make soup for him and allow him to rest. Sato, who is selling more bean sprouts, realizes that he cannot continue selling them indefinitely, and wants to progress to the second level of the Tululu. This is where the monsters drop carrots. The seller informs him about the recent drop of a new Nibonium dungeon and how the powerful Neptune group, known as the most influential group in Sekro, is investigating the drops in the dungeon. The girl seller invites him for a drink, but Sato politely declines and leaves. When Sato returns home at night, he is greeted by Emily and a clean house. Emily offers him tea and a hot towel. Sato feels guilty that she is doing all this for him, but she genuinely enjoys taking care of her own house. Emily informs Sato that the new Nibonium dungeon does not drop any items. Intrigued, Sato decides to visit the dungeon himself. He encounters a skeleton and successfully defeats it. A seed drops, and when Sato picks it up, his HP level increases. Emily joins him in defeating more skeletons, but she does not receive any drops and cannot collect Sato's drops either. They return home, and Sato informs Emily that his HP level is now at S level and he wishes to venture into the second level of the Tululu dungeon. Emily expresses concern for his recklessness and urges him to return home during the night. The next day, Sato proceeds to the second level and defeats slimes that drop carrots. In the dungeon, he encounters 3 men who mock him for his low overall level, along with a peculiar bunny girl. Upon returning home, Sato gives Emily some carrots to cook with. Suddenly, the bunny girl appears at the door and confesses her love for him, with Emily present as well. Emily asks Sato about the identity of the bunny girl, leaving Sato at a loss for words. The bunny girl repeatedly slaps Sato in frustration, but when she brings another person who ends up dying, she questions why nothing happens to Sato. Sato remains silent and redirects the question, asking why the bunny girl came to his house. To Sato's surprise, the bunny girl produces a carrot that he dropped in the dungeon and expresses her love for carrots. Seeing the carrots in the house, she starts drooling, and Emily offers her some. They invite the bunny girl to join them for dinner, where Emily prepares carrot noodles and carrot soup. The three of them indulge in the meal and enjoy their time together. After finishing their food, the bunny girl expresses her gratitude and takes her leave. Emily asks her to visit again in the future. As the bunny girl departs, Emily thanks Sato for the opportunity to no longer eat alone but instead share meals in their apartment with guests. Sato relates to Emily, as he too used to eat alone before being reincarnated in this new video game world. Emily and Sato make a promise to always eat their meals together from now on. The next day, Sato ventures into the Nibonium dungeon, opting for the second level since his HP is already at maximum. There, he encounters a zombie monster and attempts to defeat it with his spear. Unfortunately, his spear unexpectedly breaks, leaving Sato with no choice but to face the monster barehanded. After a tough battle, he successfully defeats the monster and discovers a drop seed, which increases his strength level by 1 when he picks it up. Suddenly, he spots a bunny girl and she asks him about the drop. However, Sato knows that everyone else believes the Nibonium dungeon is devoid of drops. Therefore, he decides not to reveal that his S-level drop grants him Nibonium drops. The bunny girl then requests Sato's help in obtaining carrots from Talulu, to which he agrees. Sato manages to collect a substantial amount of carrots, and upon returning to the outpost and approaching the bunny girl, everyone becomes alarmed and starts questioning him. They refer to the girl as the killer bunny. When Sato presents her with a carrot and she becomes happy, everyone is astonished. Even the seller inquires if Sato is associated with her, to which he responds that he gives her carrots and she appreciates him for it. The seller offers Sato double the price for the carrots, leaving him stunned and curious as to why. The seller explains that the bunny girl, named Eve, is well known throughout Sekiro, and her approval of carrots makes them highly valuable, deserving of a double price. The seller offers 15,000 pylos for each carrot, but Eve requests more carrots. But since Sato sold all his carrots, he promises her more carrots tomorrow. The next day, Emily and Sato are at the second Talulu level collecting carrots when Sato encounters a girl and a guy who are attempting to defeat a slime but fail to do so. Then, a captain in armor arrives and effortlessly slays the slime with remarkable power, but he only receives 1 carrot for his accomplishment. The captain pushes the girl and the boy excessively, resulting in their lack of sleep. Sato observes this and recalls his boss from his previous life who would assign them impossible tasks. Emily invites Sato to have lunch together, during which Eve approaches them in a hurry, asking for carrots. Emily offers her a carrot pudding which Eve thoroughly enjoys. However, the captain notices them relishing their meal and criticizes them for being lazy. He advises the girl and the boy to not follow their example. Sato attentively listens to the captain's words, but then Eve suddenly approaches the man and the woman and offers them a carrot to eat. They thoroughly enjoy the carrot. The captain becomes agitated and attempts to confront Eve, but she swiftly intervenes and prevents any altercation. The trio departs, and Eve resumes her meal with Sato and Emily. Sato and Emily proceed to the outpost to sell their carrots. They explain to the merchant that they were unable to transport all of their carrots. The merchant suggests using magical carts, which are designed for carrying larger loads. Intrigued, they visit a cart shop to purchase a magical cart, only to discover that they are too expensive and currently beyond their means. Consequently, they depart and make their way back home, at which point they are startled by a loud noise and the sound of people screaming stray. Emily informs Sato about the appearance of strays in dungeons when items are left behind. The stray resembles a gorilla and attempts to attack a female vendor, prompting Sato to intervene and prevent the assault. Eve and 3 other individuals arrive to confront the stray, prompting Sato and Emily to join forces with them in order to eliminate the threat. Working together, everyone cooperates to restrain the gorilla, allowing Sato to deliver a decisive blow and successfully eliminate it. The crowd erupts in cheer, expressing their gratitude to Sato for saving the town. Sato experiences a sense of importance, a stark contrast to his previous life where he felt unappreciated. Despite Emily's earlier advice that strays do not drop any items, a sound indicating a drop is heard upon the gorilla's demise, leading Sato to speculate that it may be due to his S-level drops. Curious, Emily and Sato approach the source of the shimmering drop, only to be left in shock.